Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little more serious than my past videos. Today I'm going to be talking on the subject of mental health. As many of you may not know, today is World Mental Health Awareness Day. What today is for is the education, awareness, and removing the stigma around mental health worldwide. World Mental Health Day was started in 1992 by the World Federation for Mental Health to help combat the stigmas and raise awareness and have studies to learn more about mental health, because a lot of times mental health isn't really studied. So sometimes it's kind of like the blind leading the blind when it comes to mental health. So, which I believe is really important, and I feel we have made several strides in the right direction over the last few years, but we can definitely go further. We're going to talk today about some statistics. Boy, I can never say that word right. Statistics on mental health and my own journey with mental health. To give you guys almost like an inside look into my head and my life sometimes. Let's go ahead and talk about some statistics on mental health. And let's see. Just so you know, I'm not going to be looking at the screen a whole lot throughout this because I do have a lot of this written down. So if it looks like I'm not looking at you, I need to make sure I'm getting these statistics right. Approximately 1 in 5 adults, or 18.5% of adults in the U.S. experiences mental health illness in a given year. Approximately 1 in 5 youth, aged 13 to 18, which is 21.4%, experiences a severe mental disorder at some point for children, and for children ages 8 to 15, the estimate is around 13%. 2.6% of adults in the U.S. live with bipolar disorder. 18.1% of adults in the U.S. experiences an anxiety disorder, such as PTSD, OCD, and other specific phobias. Among the 20.2 million adults in the U.S. who experience a substance abuse disorder, 50.5%, or 10.2 million, had a co-occurring mental illness. Half of all chronic mental illness begins by age 14, 3/4 by age of 24. Despite effective treatment, there are long delays, sometimes decades, between when these symptoms surface and when people reach out for help. And a lot of times I feel like that is the case because there is such a stigma about it. And people are looked down on for having a mental illness because you can't see that in mental illness. Another one is suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S., the third leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 44, and the second leading cause of death for people ages 15 to 24. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about suicide, but it is real. And a lot of people have different stances on how to deal with that. I believe anybody that tells me, hey, I don't want to live anymore, or hey, I don't feel like I belong here anymore in this world, stuff like that, because I take it serious, because you don't know if they're being serious or not, or if it's just a cry for help, for attention that they need to help them through their mental disorder. So I do take it seriously. More than 90% of children who die by suicide have a mental health condition. And every day, an estimated 22 veterans die by suicide. And I think that's pathetic. These men and women served our country, gave their time, their energy, their blood, sweat, and tears for our country, but our country can't help look out for them and help them through their PTSD or depression or other mental health disorders they may have that might have been caused by serving our country. And I think that's unforgivable. Some mental health statistics for LGBT people. People in the LGBT community are 3 times more likely than others to experience a mental health condition such as major depression or general anxiety disorder, caused by the fear of coming out and being discriminated against for being LGBT. Can lead to depression, PTSD, thoughts of suicide, and substance abuse. I can understand that. I had major depression when I was struggling with coming out myself. People of the LGBT community already must deal with discrimination, prejudice, and stigma simply by being themselves, but also with the stigma of mental health as well. Many have reported having to hide their sexual orientation or gender identity from the mental health community for fear of being ridiculed or rejected from treatment. I don't feel we should have to hide who we are just to receive mental help. A lot of the people in the mental health community that I've dealt with, I shouldn't say a lot. Some of them have been open and accepting of it, and others have tried to twist my sexual identity into something else, which I don't feel is right, but that's why I stopped seeing those people. And I do want to say that my source for information today is the NAMI, or the National Alliance on Mental Illness. If you want to check these statistics or research anything out, other kind of statistics, their website will be in the link below. I want everyone to remember that you are never alone in your struggle with mental health. If you feel you are in crisis, I'm going to put links below to different crisis and or suicide hotlines. I will also put the link to my Twitter in there as well. If you just need somebody to talk to, feel free to send me a message. I'll get back to you. Even if you just need somebody to listen to and you don't necessarily want advice, send me a message. I'll be willing to listen. If you do want the numbers or websites for the crisis hotlines, I will put them in the description box below. Please utilize them. Each and every one of you is special, and you deserve to be here. Somebody loves you. I love you. So, reach out. Talk to somebody. Alright, now we're going to talk about my personal journey with mental health. I've always noticed that come wintertime, I would always seem to get depressed and down, and I would suffer from a lack of motivation and not really want to get out of bed or do anything and just stay in the house and not go see people or anything like that. So it all started with seasonal depression, or seasonal affect disorder. I think personally my biggest journey started when I started wanting to come out to different family and friends and parents and loved ones and stuff like that and live my authentic life. With that comes the worry of, am I going to be accepted? Am I going to be loved? Am I going to be shunned, disowned? Am I going to have to start over from scratch because of who I am? So, there was that inner turmoil there. I was very lucky. Most everybody I told was very accepting. I don't really have anybody I can think of that particularly uh, disowned me or treated me differently or anything like that. Um, I'm sure it's happened. I probably am just putting it from memory, so I don't think about it. Um, Back in 2013, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. For those of you who may not know, borderline personality disorder, people struggle with self regulation, whether it be emotions, moods, stuff like that. The cause of BPD really isn't understood as of yet. But some of the symptoms do include emotional instability, fear of abandonment and insecurity, racing thoughts, and impaired social relationships. Um, what I noticed with myself with BPD, I do have a fear of abandonment, I have a fear of people pushing me away or, you know, throwing me away or not wanting me around or anything like that. Um, so I kind of start with this circle of pushing them away so they don't hurt me. Um, and then it's a vicious cycle. You push them away so that they don't hurt you, but at the same time you want them to pull you close, but it doesn't really happen because you are pushing them away, and it's difficult to live with. Another thing is the emotional self-regulation is difficult. You can be so happy and at the top of the roller coaster, and within minutes you are depressed and feeling worthless and sometimes suicidal. And then you get angry with yourself for feeling that way because you know you shouldn't feel that way. And then you cry and you get mad at yourself for crying because you've been taught from a child that crying is a sign of weakness and you shouldn't cry. And just, it's an emotional roller coaster daily. I know with myself, I second guess everything I say, everything I do. Was that an appropriate response in happiness or sadness or anger especially? Because what one person may react to hear and it be an appropriate reaction to something that happens, people with BPD will react up in the stratosphere somewhere. And they don't mean to. And so that's where the impaired social relationships come into, because people feel like if they don't understand that you have BPD or they don't totally understand it, they feel like they got to walk on eggshells around you because they never know what they say or do or think or what their actions do what reaction that'll elicit out of you. And that's really no life for anybody. Insecurity definitely is one. I am very insecure every day. I'm insecure with this channel. I'm insecure with my life in general. I don't feel like my videos are going to be seen by a lot of people because I feel like people don't want to see that content. I feel like in my personal life that people don't want to be around me because I'm heavy or because I'm gay or, just stuff like that. And we have to process these in a good way. And it does take therapy and sometimes medication to help regulate where you need to be. One of my biggest things is racing thoughts. The normal person might have oh, well, that's a pretty tree, or that's a nice dog, or whatever. But we can see that tree and be like, oh, that's a nice tree. Is it going to follow me? Um, well, if it falls on you, you deserve it. You know what I mean? It's just your thoughts go so quickly through your head with different things. And not just with that, like with things in general. Like I have trouble sleeping at night because I can't shut my mind off. Because I have different thoughts racing through my head about every given little thing, about something I did 15 years ago, about something that happened yesterday. You know, it's just you replay everything in your head, and you're always second guessing. People with BPD tend to disassociate a lot. For me, disassociating is I can't concentrate on anything. I pull away from people. I don't text like I need to do. I'm not just text. I don't keep in touch with people like I need to do. I don't practice self-care and concentrate on myself any. I just, you kind of get into this pit of despair, and it's like, just everything's And, yeah, it's difficult to live with. It's difficult to describe because, like I said before, you second guess everything. But yeah. But I am in counseling. I do feel like it's helping. I'm supposed to be starting medication soon, so I'll keep y'all updated with that. But please educate yourselves on mental health, on different aspects of it. Maybe your mom, or your dad, or your brother, your sister, your cousin, your friend, your spouse, partner, associates suffer from some sort of mental disorder or mental health issue. Research what they have. Talk to them about it. Learn about it so you know how to react in certain situations. But yeah, don't be like those people that, oh, it's all in your head, you're fine, or just get over it. That's not what somebody that suffers with mental health needs. And honestly, when I hear that, it angers me. Because that's like, what if you fell down the stairs and you broke both your legs? That's be like, oh, walk it off, you'll be alright, you're fine, there ain't nothing wrong with you. You know what I mean? Do you see the correlation there? But yeah. If you have any questions about mental health, please put them down in the comments. If I don't know the answer, I will find out the answer. I will research, I will ask professionals, I will reach out, and I will answer you. To the best of my abilities. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope you guys have learned something today. But yeah. Like I said, the link for the website I used for my information will be down in the description box below, along with some different crisis and suicide hotline numbers, including one for hard of hearing or deaf people, because I realize some of my subscribers or fans or people watching this may be hearing impaired or deaf. I am working also on subtitles to help in that area as well. So, yeah. But thanks for watching the video. If it was difficult to watch, I am sorry. It's just something I wanted to put out there to raise awareness for mental health and try and do away with the stigma and share with you part of my own journey. So, I will see y'all next time. Hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, share with your friends, get the word out about mental health. Alright, y'all. Peace, love, and chicken nugs. Deuces. I love each and every one of y'all. Bye.